Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And well, it looks like Raw got a 2.36. Now, I mentioned this in my Raw review, but I thought I'd do a separate review on the rating. A couple of people have said that I should always do a review like this, or a video rather, following the review of Raw, talking about the ratings and why it got the rating that it did. Watch my Raw review if you really want to know, but I'm gonna give you a fucking a little bit of a bonus video, or like a bonus follow-up Raw video. So I remember about a week ago, my Raw review got cut off on my phone, so I had to do two different videos. So this is sort of like this, but a little bit different. So Brock Lesnar was there. They count on Brock to bring in the ratings. Brock comes every couple of months after being there for a little bit. He comes back in a scheduled appearance, and it really didn't do that much for him this time. Yeah, they really did not get really anything out of this, because it dropped down again. It was 2.49 last week, and now it's 2.36. So what does that fucking tell you? What the fuck does that fucking tell you? I tell you what it fucking means. It means they fucking suck. This show is not good at all. It was not good in the least bit. Excuse me. It was not good in the least bit. The show is fucking horrible. Probably the most eventful thing to happen on it was Kalisto winning the fucking U.S. title against Del Rio. And as I said, what kind of an effect will this really have on the future? Not much, if any, really. We don't even know how long Kalisto is going to hold on to the title. He could hold on to this belt until next Monday night or some shit like that. He might lose it back. It's nothing to get all bent out of shape about. And, this show just had nothing on it. I have been saying that probably the best bits of material that they've gotten so far are Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens. But instead of building off on Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose and trying to build something out of this, what do? They put Dean Ambrose in a match with Sheamus, something we've seen tens of thousands of times fucking before. They already had a steel cage match, for God fucking sakes. They already had a fucking cage match. So why the fuck, with that in mind, with a fucking cage match, that's usually like the end of a fucking feud once they have a cage match. Why have another boring, plain match to follow that one up? Kevin Owens is wrestling one of, 9 other guys that are waiting to get in the ring. He's the only one that gets in the ring against Roman Reigns. How is this build up? Dean Ambrose didn't even help Roman Reigns when he was getting beat up at the end of the show. He didn't even fucking help him. So what does that fucking tell you? What does that tell you about this fucking show? They don't give a fuck. They don't even care that the best thing on the fucking show, they're not even bothering to build off of it, because they don't give a fuck. They don't care about their own fucking show. I mean, we saw a little bit of promotion for SmackDown this show, but just to tell you how much they don't fucking care about their show. For the premiere episode of SmackDown on the USA, they barely even promoted it. Barely even said 2 fucking things about it. And SmackDown, this is a whole nother show that they're doing. They're putting this on USA. Don't they care about their other show? How did it get like this? Where, I'll talk about the SmackDown thing for a minute here. How did it get like that? SmackDown used to be just as important as Raw. In fact, SmackDown, as I explained in a past video, had beaten must-see TV one time. Actually, SmackDown sometimes would get even higher ratings than Raw. You want to know why? because it was on fucking broadcast television. It was on fucking normal TV. It was on fucking Channel 9 here, UPN, whatever it was, My 9. It used to be on you know, normal, a station that you could get through a fucking antenna, through analog or whatever the fuck they call it, without having cable. You could see SmackDown. That's what I'm trying to say. So it wasn't even like it had to, you had to have cable. Anybody with a fucking TV. You had a TV, great, you could watch SmackDown. That's what made it, you know, it made it better than Raw in some respects because of that, you know. And I don't really know statistics, but sometimes SmackDown would probably do better than Raw, I would think, on certain nights. I was at that time, I wasn't really into doing these reviews and shit, so I wasn't looking so much at the ratings, you know, back then. So that's kind of why I'm not as knowledgeable exactly about ratings and everything. You know, the thing is this, it's like I care more about the fucking wrestling than the ratings. But when it got this shitty, I had no choice but to look at the fucking ratings and see what was going on in this fucking show. The show also had a lot of fucking stupid ass shit on it. Not like the fucking One versus All wasn't stupid as fucking shit. But how was this? I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm repeating shit again, but I'm going to try to put it in new ways and try to break it down for everybody. The Social Outcast. This is a team of guys that nobody takes seriously. Now, you know, some people voted for Heath Slater. He finished like 8th in the Superstar of the Year. You know, that's not really the best accomplishment because who is he really against? You know, nobody really likes Cena. Nobody likes really Roman Reigns all that fucking much. You know, so who is he going against? Seth Rollins? I don't know. Some people might have voted for Sting or, you know, or Daniel Bryan or whatever, you know, like, it wasn't that much of an accomplishment, and they weren't even going to take him seriously. You know, they put him alongside Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas. You know, I guess they were kind of hoping that Slater had a little bit of social media popularity, you know, just a little bit of it, nothing too overblown. You know, when he did come out in Brooklyn, he did get a pretty good pop. You know, I have to kind of mention that. Also, I have to mention to somebody that says, why do I keep going to these Brooklyn shows? I want to respond to that person. What Brooklyn shows are you fucking talking about? That the Raw that was in Brooklyn 3 weeks ago. I hadn't been to Brooklyn to see a wrestling show since 2013. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, all these Brooklyn shows. I haven't been to a Brooklyn show between that and that time in over 2 fucking years, 2.5 years. So I don't know exactly what you're referring to when you say, why do I keep going to all these Brooklyn shows? 2 shows in the span of almost 3 years is not all these shows. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know. But anyway, he got a good pop when he came out of Brooklyn. But the thing is, you don't then put him with a bunch of other guys that don't have any popularity at all. Nobody even likes any of those other guys. There's a few people that support the idea of Bo Dallas going into the Wyatt family. But, you know, truthfully, you know, with Bo not really being able to grow a big beard, you know, I guess the last time he tried to grow facial hair, it kind of seemed a bit like fucking separated and patchy. So I don't really know how that would work out from him from an appearance standpoint. But anyway, you don't take a bunch of guys and try to get, you know, heat off of them from a guy that's barely even that much over. You know? He's barely that much over, and you're going to put the responsibility of having him help get these other guys over? That is not even just a bad idea. That's just fucking retarded. And not only that, but the Wyatts, the most over team, the scary team that's supposed to strike fear into the hearts of all the other wrestlers on the roster. They're running away from Ryback and these jobbers. Bray Wyatt had already beaten Ryback. He has no reason to be scared of him. And they don't have any reason to be scared of the Social Outcast because none of them ever win any matches. Now, I know you're going to say, oh, this is wrestling. These guys dress up in tights and they wrestle around. How are we supposed to take it seriously? You know, the thing is this. It's all about being able to fucking take it seriously, or about as far as you can take it seriously. As I said, wrestling is a lot like a movie. You try to make it as believable as possible. Even if it's a fantasy, you still try to make it in such a way that you make the movie look like it is real. That was every director's dream back when they used to do sci-fi movies and shit like that. Trying to make something look as real as possible. Trying to do the best they could with technology. To try to get things to look as real as possible, like they were actually happening in real life. They developed techniques that were referred to as trick photography. You know, what I'm saying is this, basically. You try to make something as realistic as possible, as believable as possible, because you want to be taken seriously as a director, as a musician, as a wrestling promoter, or, you know, if you're in the sports entertainment business, whatever you are, you want to be taken seriously, because when you are taken seriously, people take note, people want to watch your product, people want to get involved in the business that you're involved in. And that's really just the fucking truth, really. You know, you want to try to really dazzle people. You want to fucking put on that razzle dazzle, and you want to impress people. You want people to like your product. I don't know why McMahon seemingly wants people to dislike his product. Because the thing is, how could anybody possibly like any of this shit? How could anybody get behind any of it? I mean, seriously, like, look at this fucking show. How the hell am I supposed to sit here and tell my subs that they should watch this show, that this was a good show? How am I supposed to do that? Call me negative. Call me, you know, just looking for the negatives and everything and not finding any positives. But the thing is, I don't really have any positives to report. I try my damnedest every fucking week to try to at least point out, you know, people think I just want to come here and I want to just tear this show apart. And, you know, I do. When the show is bad, yes, I do want to come here on YouTube and I want to vent my frustrations. But I don't want to have to come here week after week and fucking tear this show apart. It gets fucking tiresome. It's fucking monotonous. You know, it really is. I don't want to fucking do this every single fucking week. I want to be able to come before you guys and say, hey, Raw was a good show. I enjoyed the stories. I enjoyed the matches. But sadly, we are very far from me saying that. I mean, like, I am standing in the United States and that scenario is all the way in China. There's a big fucking distance between what I just said and where I'm standing now on the WWE product. There is no storylines at all. If you want to call that a storyline, fucking the Social Outcasts and the Wyatts, that they're scared of that the Wyatts are scared of the Social Outcasts. I mean, is that supposed to be the thing because they're the Social Outcasts? We're supposed to, you know, the Wyatts are supposed to be intimidated by this because, like, they're outcasts just like them. And, you know, that's what I kind of get from it. But if that is the fucking case, that is just fucking dumb. The Wyatts, I mean, look at them. Who would not be scared of the Wyatts? They're intimidating. They've got Braun Strowman, who's 7 feet tall. All these guys are big, tall, strong guys. You know, and you know, they look weird as fuck, and they're creepy. They appear out of nowhere. They appear out of the darkness. These characters should be centerpieces. They were against the face of the company, Cena. You know, they were warring against the Undertaker and Kane, the guys that were considered to be the scariest at one time. So, you know, I mean, I don't really get it. Why would you fucking bury this team? That segment bothered the fuck out of me. and I couldn't get over it. And not only that, but like I said, Stephanie and Paul Heyman. I would love to see these two go head to head, you know, in a fucking promo that was worth my time. But them just arguing over Brock Lesnar being in the Rumble, there was nothing entertaining about it. There was nothing funny. There was nothing witty about it. You expect out of a Paul Heyman promo that you're going to get something exciting or entertaining. And the same thing goes for Stephanie. Instead, all I'm getting is a bland, boring segment that's going on for like 10, 15 minutes. And there's nothing that I'm getting out of this. I'm just really watching just two people fucking talking and arguing back and forth about something that could be resolved in the real world in like 2 fucking minutes. There, you know, you're just basically going around in circles. Like, look at the fucking opening segment. How boring that was. McMahon is back. You know, you gotta believe and know that McMahon said that he's not worried about the ratings. He is, or else he wouldn't be there. But the guy is half-assing his fucking return to the fucking max. I mean, he's not even trying, and it's the material also. Vince Russo said this in the most recent Wrestling Inc. podcast. And I've been saying this for so long, and I'm happy that someone like Vince Russo with a fucking way more massive voice than mine is fucking saying this already. It does not matter how good Chris Jericho is, like, I'm going to talk about that as well. It doesn't matter how good Chris Jericho is. It doesn't matter how good Vince McMahon is. It doesn't matter how good Paul Heyman is. It doesn't matter how good anybody is on the fucking mic. If they are not given a template to at least work with, that, you know, where the writing is good and there's good material and that they feel inspired to cut good promos, you know, whether it be their promo be scripted or not, you know, you have to believe that Chris Jericho coming out there and saying Rudy Tooty Fruity Booty, there's no way that Jericho is coming out there and coming out with that on his own. And that's nothing new for Jericho. I had complained since this guy returned like fucking 2012 and he was doing that thing where he was staying silent for a while and he wouldn't break his silence until like a month later. I was saying that this guy was fucking losing it on the mic, or seemingly losing it. The guy was struggling with these fucking promos. I don't think that this is Jericho's fault, because we all know the guy is a fucking natural on the mic. We know that he's probably one of the fucking, you know, he used to even say that he was larger than life. He definitely did have a larger than life personality. This guy was probably one of the best mic workers in the fucking game. And you know, you take a look at his promo with New Day. I mean, you look at these people, these fucking stars, these wrestlers, these personalities that once had these larger-than-life personalities like Vince McMahon and Chris Jericho. And, you know, you tell somebody today that these are some of the greatest guys on the mic, greatest promo guys, and, you know, you say that to somebody who's not familiar with their past work, and they're just going to look at you and be like, what's so great about these guys? Introduce them to younger fans who maybe have not yet watched it on the fucking network, some of the older material. They're going to be like, why are you getting excited over these guys? They're fucking lame. They're fucking boring and fucking cheesy. I mean, Rudy Tooty Fruity Booty. The fuck is that fucking shit? That sounds like something a kid in fucking second grade would say. In fact, second graders probably saying way more advanced stuff. Probably saying more edgy shit than that. I mean, come on. You know, Chris Jericho goes from calling Stephanie McMahon a fucking bottom-feeding trash bag hoe to saying Rudy Tooty Fruity Booty. I mean, you know, like I said, it's a fucking slap in the goddamn fucking face to anybody who's ever watched this product. I mean, you're sitting there and you're telling me that Chris Jericho is basically a fucking party clown. He's there to fucking entertain. He should be wearing a fucking red nose. You know, like, come on already. The fuck am I looking at here? This is not fucking Chris Jericho. This is a joke. You know, this is a fucking shell of his former self. This is a shell of fucking Vince McMahon. These aren't the wrestlers that I fucking grew up watching. These aren't the personalities that I grew up cheering for and wanting to tune in every Monday and fucking Thursday night to watch because, you know, these guys were so fucking great I couldn't get enough of them. Now I've had fucking enough of them. I can't wait till Vince McMahon gets his fucking ass out of there because he's boring the fucking shit out of me. I mean, I'd rather watch a fucking Nikki Bella fucking match or promo by her, to be quite fucking honest. Because the thing is, like I said, it's fucking insulting that I'm sitting here and I'm watching Vince McMahon trying to, you know, do a promo, and it's not even a quarter of the way, not even fucking 0.1% as good as he used to be. I mean, it's like I'm watching a totally different person. It's like I'm watching fucking Amateur Hour. It's like I'm not even fucking watching Vince McMahon. I'm watching somebody totally fucking different. I don't know who the fuck these people are. This ain't fucking Chris Jericho. That's Chris Jericho. I don't fucking know, but they're not the wrestlers that I once fucking knew. And that's why the fucking show is getting as low as it is. Even when you bring these old stars back, they're not as good as they used to be. You're not letting them be as good as they used to be. And I'm not saying that, you know, people are going to probably come at me and say, oh, you want to hear the same Chris Jericho promos as back in the Attitude Era. You know, we go through this every single fucking time, and I have to tell these people to just fucking shut the fuck up already. Every single time you bring up anything with the Attitude, oh, you want to see the same stuff. You know, the thing is this, as I said, we don't want to see the Attitude Era over and over again. We don't want to see fucking repeats. We want to see the same inspirational material. We want to see an inspired, motivated WWE and Vince McMahon and anybody working on the writing and the booking staff. We want to see a product that's motivated, that cares, and is actually taking the time to develop characters, which this show doesn't have, and storylines, which also this show doesn't have, you know, or anything fucking memorable for that matter. You know, we had one surprise on this show, Kalisto, a guy who's not even really that over. You know, they were hoping that a big spot at TLC was going to get this guy over, and maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I don't fucking know. Some people like doing the lucha chant, but, you know, I mean, I don't think it was up to the level of a United States champion. It's not like that belt really means anything, but, you know. Anyway, that's how you got your fucking rating right there. Your 2.36 or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was that. Anyway, these numbers are getting fucking complicated. There's fucking decimals all over the fucking place. There's a square root. I don't fucking know. But the thing is, all I know is that the rating is lower than it was last week, and it's fucking low as shit, and it's way fucking lower than it even was a fucking couple of months ago. The 3.0 is gone, people, and it ain't coming back, and it ain't never coming back. I think it's kind of obvious at this point. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, what show you're looking at here, comparing it to whatever, football, basketball, baseball's the reason. No. Cut the fucking shit out already. The product sucks, and that is why it's getting a low fucking rating. It's not because of this and that and the other thing. It's because it fucking sucks, okay? It fucking sucks, and that's the reason why. That's the only reason that you really need. And people gotta fucking stop defending the show and trying to come up with positives and all that like that. Yeah, you know, you want to go and you want to talk about it, but don't fucking defend this show and try to fucking make like this was a great fucking awesome show or something like that, because it wasn't. It fucking sucked cock, and it accomplished nothing. Accomplished fucking shit. There you go, motherfuckers. You know, that's the reason why this Raw sucked and got a low rating. More videos to come.